All right, everybody. So here we are working on a new song today. I don't know what these vlogs are gonna be. I said I was gonna document the process on my social media, so we'll probably make some YouTube videos and stuff out of whatever this is gonna be here. Thought it would be fun to go over some of the process here I do for working on songs here. So let me get the camera turned here. Okay, I keep on stopping and starting this video because I don't know what I'm doing with these takes. Anyway, we got the Reaper session here, the extinction level event. Get open for drum programming. I think the icon does probably sound better than this does, which is the new kit that Spectre Digital has out. And I do have it, but the problem I ran into is there's not two rack toms. It's only got one rack tom and it's a 14, and I don't really want that with a 16 and 18 floor. That's not what we're after. We need these two guys up here. I need my 10 and 12. I might change the snare for this. It really depends. I mean, the Pearl custom is really cool. See, my problem with high tunings is it just sounds weird. That one gives us a little bit better of kind of a shotgun sound. The Ludwig is not bad for what the kind of song that this is gonna be. Like how this 5-inch just has no other setting. This one is my least favorite, is the Pearl free floating. The Ludwig I think works for what we're doing here. I think these are probably gonna stay the same. And then we have, what is this guy? I forgot. It's just a big Zildjian ride. This is just crash, crash, this. China, sometimes we use that. The rest of these symbols we don't really use because it's a dark crash and it's weird. So this is the main thing because this is supposed to be set up like, as you can see, 90s 10-piece. So this is intentionally set up to be like Matt Cameron's kit. 2 rack toms, 2 floors, and then the crashes, a ride, and a hat. He does not really do China's a whole lot. There are a couple songs. There are a couple Soundgarden songs where there is a China on it, but he really is not doing that much. Ooh, hard to hold this camera steady. I can't really do it. My setup here is kind of weird. That means we can use our template that I would normally use. If I'm using a new thing, this is what happens every time, is you gotta go through and manually label these things. At least with Reaper, though, we'll go ahead and put the China in. Say wanted to add that in, then we're gonna open unused rows here. See, so there's the China here. So we just write hit. This is very tedious, boring stuff. This is a choke on it. Okay, and now we've got the China there just in case we want it for something. It's on now. So we go back to hide. And then I can go to here since we've done that, and we can do this. And this is going to a absolutely wrong place. So I will probably fix that, but you guys get the idea there. We would do that and save a new template. I wanted to do programming today, but I don't have time. So here we are. All right. So there will probably be another clip after this one that will be me programming stuff this time. So. Okay, so we're back for day 2 of this thing now. We're gonna actually do some drum programming today. Didn't get to it yesterday, but now we're into some real meat here. So plan is we're gonna get the tab up for what we have here, and we're gonna follow along, and we're gonna probably do kick and snare pattern first. That's what we're gonna do. Do it some for a section at a time, and then copy paste it down wherever we need it to. Usually it's put that down first in whatever amount I need, usually like 2 bars or something like that, and then paste those 2 bars across sections where it needs to be repeated. So yeah, then we'll start with the kick snare like I said, and then when we've done kick snare for that amount, then we'll do cymbals and toms where we want them. And then when we've done that, usually after I've copied and pasted everything is when we worry about fills. So we'll have a basic backbeat down, essentially, and then go back and do fills later as needed. Usually do them about every fourth bar or so is typically what I go for. Sometimes on certain sections where it needs more energy, we'll go every second bar instead, just to make it better. And also always a fill, usually at a turnaround to a new section or something like that. So pretty basic stuff. Go to the other angle and show you guys on the computer what we're dealing with. Finally worked out an angle here where I don't have to hold the stupid thing the whole time to show the computer. Anyway, tab of the thing we got here. This might have to be changed because I actually want to do something slightly different maybe every fourth time of this because it's such a long section with so many repeats. Reflections are going to look weird on the screen here, but this is just a casual vlog thing, so it's not like it's a big deal. Anyway, yeah, here's the main riff stuff. It's how it opens, just the first 4 riffs there to this thing, and then the main part is actually down here. I'm going to blur what the title of this document is, probably, so I don't give it away too early here. But yeah, we got that. So if we go back to our guy here, you'll remember. Don't forget this boy down here, which I actually might need to change. So ignore this part. All right, so cutting that, we're probably sticking with the clear head here with the Tama, just because I like the openness of this. It doesn't have too many highs. It's not too low, but it gives you plenty of punch. So it's kind of a good middle of the road sound. I'm not sure I want this snare. Yeah, what we're dealing with, this is probably going to be good. So then we got that, which means open up our boy here. For now, this grid, I'm cutting it down to 32s to help myself out a little bit here. It just makes it a little bit easier to program stuff. Where is my zoom? That is the opposite of what I want. There it is. Okay, that's the size we want there. The kicks are going to be a lot quieter, probably, on the mix here. Just because for whatever reason they get cooked really hard on the plugin itself. So what are we dealing with here? All right, so we got 8th, 16th, 8 here. So this is a 1 here with the, so it's a 1E, and then we go all the way through the 1E and 2E and 3 and 4 and, so yeah, I think that's where we are. So our snare is just gonna be on 2 and 4 anyway, so that would be there, that would be there. So we'll go like that, and then this probably here, because that follows the riff. That's a big trick that I use, follow where the riff is going. So we would have just this little bit here. Okay, so we don't like that, actually. That sounds a little bit weird, so we'll take that out. So this is in the correct spot, though, because normally we would have that there, and then that's 16th note over. And we could always change it to a halftime. We don't like that, but I probably won't do that. So what was our count here? So we were at 1. I might have counted that wrong. So again, if we count, so we start with the half note, and then that 16th note is what we get right here. So our next half note is right here. So we're starting here after the snare comes out. So bleh, to here, which probably means we're going to add something in there probably. So we'll do that first, then that's the snare again, and then the last and here. So that should be a good beat just for this section here. Okay, so we are a little bit fast. So we could trick this up instead here. If we want to do that kind of beat instead. Sometimes that's better than doing this. You could also do this instead. This is an alternate. Now we don't like that. We could do a weird thing where instead of that we have the 16th note over, so this is a half note between. So that's a good starting point there. We'll have to see how it would sound with the riff, so there might be a way for me to check that in the tablature. We'll try that. Yeah, for now, let's go to a little bit of a time lapse, and I'm going to put the camera somewhere else for that. Okay, here's what we got so far here. All right, everybody, see y'all another day. All right, it's another day. Once again, we're back. Drums are still active right now. I got quite a bit done earlier today, actually, before I started filming anything here because I was getting some of the regular stuff done on here before I got to the chorus. It's interesting when you've got a song that introduces a lot of parts before you actually get to the chorus once. So you have like an intro section, and then like a section before the verse, and then a little bit pre-chorus where the intro becomes the pre-chorus, and a bunch of different things. So yeah, but that was simple stuff. The chorus is going to be a big deal, so I'm going to show you guys that today probably. But I'm going to recap though and show you guys some things that I did yesterday that I corrected because some of the parts, I mean, the main part we showed was the intro part. It was not feeling quite right for what the guitars were doing, so I kind of changed it up a little bit. Okay, the video is just going to be crooked, I guess, whatever. But here is what we did before. So some things were changed here. I cut back on the kicks a lot and then figured out a way to incorporate this part where the tempo is slightly different to accentuate what's going on there. And so this is what we did. So that was cool. And then there's a section here where it's supposed to be a little bit quieter. So we did a tom section. And then it goes to the main part, I guess, here. And so there's the thing there. I wanted to make this, so there's a few more kicks here, but kind of. I mean, this is like this because of where the notes on the guitar are landing. So we have some closer together right here, just to catch that part. And then every fourth one, like I said, was a rule with me, is a slightly different fill at the end. That's cool there. And then we did the pedal, the hi-hat pedal trick here. Is where you open it more here to get the, and then hit the pedal down to close it, so you get that kind of sound. It's a pretty cool trick here. I wonder if anyone's going to figure out what's going on with this before I actually finish the song. So there's that. The intro section comes back here. Of course, this is slightly different here. We kept the same timing with the hi-hats for this because there's something slightly different happening here. We're accentuating with the snares again. Then the intro comes back. And then we have this weird thing here because there's supposed to be some big chords that happen right here. It's just 3 chords you get right here, and they stop. Do I need to double check this? Potentially, might have to double check the rhythm here. I might have gotten that wrong. But anyway, let's just go over here to where the chorus is going to be. I want to do some kind of tom thing here. that matches up with the riff, you know. This is how we can do this, I think. And we can do maybe some of these here just to say we did. Should it be on the floor? I mean, that's what I want here, accentuate this, which probably means we're gonna go to a halftime here and have the snares on threes, which I think would make a lot more sense. I don't know if I want 3 kicks here or not. We'll come back to that later. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put any cymbals on this. See, this is the hard thing to figure out what we're gonna do here. Because if we make it a halftime and we have this at the beginning of, well, some of them, so maybe we'll do it every other thing. We'll do the toms, and that will be cool. Because then we can do the bell on quarters, and then that might be interesting. Maybe something like that. All right, maybe I'll go to a time lapse here and just mess around and see where we can get with it. So here's this guy. I'm gonna have to go back and fix this here because this fill or whatever this section needs to also be over here. I think I forgot about that, so this will have to be slightly rearranged, but this is what we got. So we got the tom thing at the beginning like I wanted. I don't really know if the cymbal stuff is gonna work how I want it to. I'll have to see later when there's actually, you know, guitars recorded. Oh, I did try to start it here, and it's okay. Yeah, that's gonna change. So that's not correct. That's gonna be rearranged. Let me show the version where it's correct. I did a fill on this one. There's a reason for those tom fills. If you see the tab, because there's some different note divisions happening here, so that's slightly different. But I guess that's what we got for the chorus. I don't know how to do fills in halftime really, so that might also be changed. But yeah, there's that. There's the third day, fourth day. I've lost track, but you know, we're getting there. Once we get this done, it's going to be a lot of mostly copying and pasting the rest of it, so that's good. Anyway, that's what we got for this day, guys. So there it is. That's cool. There might be another clip this week of this. I'm not sure. I may put that on hold here since, I mean, we've seen most of the drumming process here with, or the drum programming process with what I do. So yeah, that might be good so I can actually make a video out of these clips. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you.